Oh, this burger's so good.
Brandon, wait, what the fuck are you doing, man? Get that shit out of here,
we gotta
Brandon.
goon him.
This is the
Get him,
vegan
boys.
episode, man. What the fuck?
Are you
Did
for
you
real?
get the memo?
Are you for real?
Are you
Spit
for
that
real?
out.
What the fuck, Brandon?
Put that in the fucking
You are
trash.
fucking kidding me.
Put that in the fucking trash, man. Grab a
It's not
fucking
a
apple.
That better be a
I'm
Beyond
gonna
Burger,
keep
man.
eat, I'm gonna
Yes.
keep eating this.
No, get that
Oh
shit
my
out of here,
fucking-
bro. Get it out of here. Because
Oh my
guess
God.
what?
I'm gonna throw up.
I am so sick of you right now. I'm sick of this. Brandon, you're fucking fired, bro.
You
Get
have
out.
single-handedly just disbanded Stacked, man.
This is it. This is the last Stacked episode with this clown.
Stacked is canceled.
Oh, they're canceling Stacked next because he ate a burger? Oh my god.
Season 1 ends with a bang.
All right, welcome back to Stacked, everyone. That's right, this is episode 37, and if you can't tell, we're doing the vegan movies episode because on this episode we have another very special guest. I think the last member of the little Wyatt and Aiden household. We have Steven Kolinsky, the creator of the infamous The Boner Scale and the Couch Scale on Letterboxd. Steven,
Couch Experience.
welcome. The Couch Experience. I'm sorry, Couch
Oh, it's
Experience.
cool.
It's a new rating system, right?
It's a new one. It just
rather
came
new,
out.
so I'm still getting used to it. Well, welcome to the podcast, Steven.
Thank you. It's an
Good to have
absolute
you.
honor to be here. I've been looking forward to this my entire adult life, ever since my bar mitzvah. So
Oh
psyched.
wow, I'm incredibly honored by that. You know,
Yes.
I have to agree. I've been waiting my adult life for this podcast and for you to be on it. So
Yes.
I'm glad.
I actually, I come bearing a gift actually that I haven't told you guys about yet.
really. Oh
So
my god.
my roommate Wyatt and I, friend of the show,
Yes.
he has helped me. Well, he co-wrote a Stacked theme song with me.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my god.
I haven't said anything about this. I want to premiere it on the show right now live. I have a copy of it on my phone. It uses some royalty-free, YouTube allowed, no attribution required
Okay.
music. So without further ado, I'd like to premiere the Stacked theme song.
Well, let's hear it.
Chris, Brandon, Ethan, bow to stack it up. Feeling good tonight with my popcorn cup. Pretty high stack, just 3 discs high. Gonna listen to find out who's got a good eye. All the other podcasts are super whack. That's why I listen to Stacked.
Oh my god.
Look at man.
Bravo.
No idea that
That was amazing.
Please send that
So-
to us.
Yeah,
We will
send
use
us
it.
that file so we'll put it crisp and clean in the podcast for the world to hear that.
Please.
Steven, that was amazing. Next time you see Wyatt, you gotta give him kudos for that because you two knocked it out of the park with the Stacked theme song. Shit,
Thank you.
we
Thank
we
you very
might
much.
we might have to start episodes with that theme song. No, okay.
It's kind of epic.
It's kind of an epic
I
song.
like
All right, well, Steven, we brought you here, or you came onto the show and present. We brought you here.
handcuffed him.
We
We
handcuffed you.
handcuffed
You're
him.
here against your will.
I am.
No, you have come to the show today with a very fun topic, as we said, vegan movies. So I wanna ask
Yes.
you, like, what was your thought process behind having that be your topic for your debut
Yeah.
episode on Stacked?
Of course. So I myself, I hate to say this, but I am vegan.
All
I'm
right.
sorry. I'm so sorry. I've been vegan for over a year now, and only like every other day I just like have a limp and feel kind of shit. But like, nah, I'm just kidding there. No, I feel fine. But I just thought it'd be funny to go on and spread the word about some cool vegan hip movies. I almost feel like that hip like pastor or rabbi you might have who's like, religion's cool. That's what I think. You know, it's like veganism's
Yeah.
cool. There's so many really shit like vegan songs out there. I was playing one for Wyatt recently. It's called Vegans Fuck All Night Long. I recommend people to look it up listening to the Stack podcast. It has half dislikes and half likes.
Wow.
It's something.
The discourse. Holy shit.
Chances are 50% of you are gonna like it.
Yeah, that's true. As both Aiden and Wyatt's favorite roommate and secret lover, I have a reputation to uphold as a guest on today's show. I need to behave myself, or else I will forever lose the love of my roommates. Aiden is actually out for blood. He will hurt me if I do not behave myself during the recording, and Wyatt will stop giving me kisses after helping him play Ring Fit every day. I just wanted to
shout outs to Ring Fit. Well,
get that out of the way.
I'm sure you're gonna present some great topics and have a great conversation with us.
Please,
because I really like this this episode's topic, because like a vegan movie, you can sort of frame that in so many different ways. You know.
Yep. That's right.
Brandon, Chris. Yeah, Brandon, tell me, like, what was your like process behind constructing your 3-film stack of vegans?
So I actually have one movie that is like literally like I'd consider it a vegan movie, and then I have 2 movies that are not necessarily vegan movies, but I have a reason for why I've chosen them, and I'm going to reveal them later on in the podcast. So we'll see what happens.
What about you, Chris?
Yeah, for me, it was kind of like a situation where I was trying to find movies that kind of coincide with like the philosophy of veganism, whether that be like, obviously like animal rights and, the health of humans, but also like the environment and, like capitalism and all that. There's a lot to like kind of go into there. So I wanted to find films that kind of like delve into that. And so some of these films like have had like very like significant like personal effect on me as a person, so I feel like this will be a really fun topic to talk about.
Yeah, there's a lot of different aspects of veganism that you can talk about in film, like whether it be like it's like centered around characters who are vegan, or like you said, commentary on like sort of like the meat industry and stuff like that, and sort of that vegan lifestyle, and I think I went with a little combination of both of your little reasonings behind picking vegan movies. So, all right, I'm excited. I'm excited to see everyone's pick. This is going to be a very fun and creative episode. Mm-hmm. So, before we get into the picks, of course, as always, let's run down the rules of the show. Once a week, we set a topic or theme to go our separate ways to construct our own 3-film stack. Then after a week, we come back here on the podcast and share our own stacks 1 film at a time. Then at the end of the show, we will mix and match our 9 films to make the ultimate descent. Oh, fuck. Shit, it's done.
You did it.
At the end of the show, we'll mix and match our 9 films to make the ultimate decision on what quintessential 3-film stack we're checking out of this hypothetical video store. There, it happens every so often that I mess up. I can't believe this.
If this was the first podcast someone's listening to right now, I'm stacked. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
They have no idea what the hell is going on.
All right. Steven, as our guest, please kick off this episode for us with your first vegan movie.
It's an absolute honor. So just to state first off just what veganism is as a whole. The Vegan Society defines veganism, this is a quote, as a philosophy and way of living which seeks to exclude, as far as is possible and practical, all forms of exploitation of and cruelty to animals for food, clothing, or any other purpose, and by extension promotes the development and use of animal-free alternatives for the benefit of animals, humans, and the environment. And this also includes dietary stuff and stuff like that, right? So my first pick is a truly vegan experience, and I don't think any of you guys might have taken a perspective on this, because I actually struggled to come up with my list of movies as well for this stack. My first movie is none other than Joker, directed by Todd Phillips, and starring vegan actor Joaquin Phoenix. Vegan since he was 3 years old.
Oh my! This is the first time I'm bringing up Joker in this podcast, and it's for vegan.
Thank God.
I was saving that for something, but here we are. All right. Well, Steven, tell us about Joker. What's Joker about?
Oh, please. I've seen it once. I remember every part of it, obviously. It is obviously my favorite movie, and I've obviously, I loved every scene of it. I like the movie. First off, not only is this a great movie, but if you look at the Oscar speech that Joaquin Phoenix gave, his speech talks about the animal agriculture industry, actually. And he talked about the dairy industry and stuff like that, and said that he disagrees with that. So in my opinion, this is a vegan movie. And I did go through recently and skim through the movie one more time. It does not feature any vegan characters, unfortunately. And I'm sure you guys noticed this. There aren't many vegan characters in movies in general. Like, It was hard for me to find some of those that even have some. It's a great couch experience with your buddies and pals watching Joker. That stairs scene, everything. There is no meat that is prominently featured, eaten in the film.
Did you look in the fridge scene where he's taking apart the fridge before he crawls?
No meat there. No meat there.
Wyatt, a friend of the show, he talked to me and said, "Isn't there milk in there or something?" Even if there was, even if there was milk in there, you don't know for sure that that's cow's milk.
It could be
Just
almond.
saying.
Yeah.
Could be almond milk. It's vegan Joaquin Phoenix, man. Could be some other kind of milk. We don't know. In an interview, Joaquin Phoenix said, "Me and my siblings witnessed fish being killed in a really violent and aggressive way. It was just absolutely obvious that it was something we didn't want to participate in and we didn't want to support. To me, it just seems obvious. I didn't want to cause pain to another human, another empathetic creature." So I think it's a really fun movie to watch. It's a very popular film, obviously. It's the first. I don't know. What do you guys think? Tell me.
Well, okay. Well, I guess I'll speak because I'm the Joker advocate of the bunch. one might say. So I mean, shut up. So yes, Joker. Very outside the box pick, to say the least. But I do definitely think like you have a point when you say like this film, even though like a lot of it doesn't deal with veganism, it has provided a platform, I feel, for the discourse of vegan like culture to like into like more popular discussion. Because I know like I remember Brandon, even you, like when Joaquin Phoenix won the Oscar, like I know like he wasn't necessarily your top pick, even though I know you think he gave a good performance. But I remember you telling me like even though you might not have agreed with the pick of him being best actor for the year, I know that you were also moved by his speech. And I totally agree. The agriculture, like perspective that he builds in, like Joaquin builds in that speech and like across a lot of his persona as a celebrity is very like, I think very vegan friendly. So I think this is a surprising out of the box, but still valid pick. Ethan, what do you think about Joker being our first vegan film?
Steven, I have good news. I just went through the fridge scene. I don't see a single dairy product in that fridge. So I think
that gets me off.
I think we're good. Yeah.
I have to change my pants. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I liked Joker. I thought it was a funny movie.
Funny.
It's funny. How can you like?
It's a comedy.
It's the Joker. He has to be funny.
Joker Christ,
Joker Christ. When I see a Joker, I laugh, all right? Because he's a clown, and clowns are funny, and I thought that Joker movie was pretty funny. So I had a great time watching it. Yeah, I think, he kind of... Joker in this movie kind of has the stereotypical body of a vegan that you'd think of that a body a vegan has, very slim. You can tell that this Joker doesn't eat any meat,
Sure.
I think...
I mean, I don't...
I think the process, like... Who was it? No, I think it was Christian Bale. Some actor only ate apples to like slim down or something like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was Joaquin Phoenix in this movie.
I think that was Joaquin.
Yeah, he only ate literally an apple a day or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I do want to say he lost like 30 pounds for this role, so he can't.
Yeah.
It is unlike what people think. Vegan diets can support a very healthy lifestyle, and a lot of research is conclusive that veganism is one of the healthiest diets you can actually follow.
Absolutely.
But I'm not going to get into health on the podcast because I'm not a health expert.
Yeah, we'll save those for the scientists.
Please.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's very cool to link as sort of, I don't know, say what you will about the quality of its message, but it is sort of an anti-capitalist piece, even though it's created by a very capitalist corporation, but we live in a society, and yeah, Brandon, what do you think about Joker?
What is it, Brandon?
Do you think he did? It's a movie.
It is a movie.
But is it a vegan movie?
The best movie.
That's what we're asking today.
I think he did a keto diet. You know, I'm not here to argue the merits of Joker. I'm here to argue the merits of Joker as a vegan film. And let me tell you,
yeah,
it looks like he wasn't eating very much. Hence the veganism. Well, we love it. We love to see it. We love to see it. He's being healthy. He's a great guy. You know, what can we say? Joaquin Phoenix, you guys have already taken the words out of my mouth here. Joker is a vegan, confirmed. That should be written in the Warner Brothers canon for the rest of the time.
Should, you know? He likes killing people, but he doesn't say anything about animals, you know? Alrighty then. Chris, take us into your first vegan movie.
All right. Well, my films, like, they slowly are going to get more and more out of the box. So I'm going to start off with something that's a little bit more like, yeah, we're going to, like, this one is a bit more like, okay, this makes good sense. My first film, I was bouncing around between two films. The one that I didn't pick was a film that we brought up in the coming of age list. I don't know if anyone else has picked it, but it was, the one I didn't pick was Raw, the French horror film. That was very close. It was literally like this close to coming in, but I decided to go somewhere else. And I ended up with a film from, I believe, 2017, directed by none other than Bong Joon-ho. It is Okja.
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 There we go. Double stack.
Hey, it's a double
I had
stack.
I had a feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll just summarize it basically. Okja is about a young girl. Her name's, I think, how do you pronounce her name? Mija? Or Mija, as I know that's how you spell her name.
I believe it's pronounced Okja.
No, the girl, the little girl.
Human, you idiot.
All right.
I haven't seen it. So.
There's a little girl, and she's the caretaker and companion to Okja, this giant animal that is like incredibly sweet and kind, and just like those two are like a Totoro like level kind of like companionship.
Yeah.
But also the film deals with kind of like multinational corporations that are trying to abuse animals for their own like materialistic self, like, I don't know, self-obsessed image, I suppose. And yeah, so it's also it's kind of a heist film in a way. Like, they're trying to get back this animal. Yeah. And yeah, I'm going to leave it there because kind of in Bong Joon-ho fashion, it's a very twisty and lots of plot narrative shifting here and there. But yeah, this was a film that I remember watching way back in 2017 and being kind of enamored by how like just as an environmental story, like being so kind of like engulfed by how like intersectional it is. Like, I guess like growing up, I never really like fully understood like how like corporation and like environmentalism kind of coexist under one umbrella. And this was kind of a film that unified them for me and helped me like understand that like in order to fight one, you have to like work with or against the other, I suppose. So yeah, it's kind of really interesting to kind of explore that. But Ethan, you double stacked with me on this, so what do you think?
Yeah, I think this was like one of the first films for me as well where like I started realizing that sort of stop using straws and shit, like that kind of mentality is not really the thing that's like protecting our planet, you know? Mm-hmm. But it's more
very true.
Yeah, it's more these big corporations that's run by Tilda Swinton's character and utilizes personalities such as Jake Gyllenhaal. Like, Jake Gyllenhaal in this movie is fucking insane.
He always is, but wow, this is like wow, Nightcrawler beyond. It's like
Nightcrawler at the end of Nightcrawler, you know, when he's like absolutely crazy, but then he has like an Animal Planet show, you know, so he's half like Steve Irwin, half Nightcrawler, and it's a pretty unforgettable performance, I gotta say. And yeah, like you said, Chris, like it's a very like intense film, especially when it gets to the end, you know. I don't want to reveal like sort of the twists and turns that are sort of a staple to Bong Joon-ho's movies, but it creates like a beautiful relationship between this girl and this, what do they call them, like super pigs or something like that?
I think so,
giant hippo-like guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, it made for a fun film. I think I got to give it a rewatch now that I've seen more of. I think this was maybe my first. No, this was my second, because Snowpiercer was my first Bong Joon-ho movie, and this was my second. And now that I've seen more, I feel like it'd be nice to revisit this one sometime.
Yeah, there's also a small thing, but I just wanted to mention it. Steven Yeun is in this movie.
He is, and with Paul Dano.
Yeah, and we're big Steven Yeun fans here. So
yes.
I love that, man.
Yes, love it.
Steven, you've seen Okja, right?
I have seen Okja, yes.
What are your thoughts?
Oh, I really enjoyed it. It's a very pleasant couch experience. I'm sure it would score highly on the boner scale. Well, no, probably pretty low. Negative, because they're it's a film about struggle and triumph and terrifying thoughts and stuff. And I remember when I watched it, I thought to myself, this kind of thing happens in the real world too, but with real animals. And then I kept eating meat for like another whatever amount of years, Hey,
I
think,
here.
I think you made a good point when you talked about the straw thing. There's a lot of meat. I'm very well versed in internet vegan lingo. Like I've gone on a lot of those forums, and I like to lurk on there and see what they think, because a lot of these people, I think they're very respectable people, and I think they have their heads are on right or whatever. But some people tend to get a little off course sometimes, and that's what a lot of people like to exaggerate, in media and stuff, like extreme vegans and this and that. But going back to the straw thing, a lot of people like to meme about how that it's like, oh, well, you should stop using straws to save the fish. I'm like, oh, yeah, absolutely. You should stop eating fish to save the fish. And they're like, what are you talking about? Are you kidding me? I'm not going to do that. Are you insane? I really like Okja. Only critique that, in my opinion, would not make this a vegan movie, but I still think it is a vegan movie. Bong Joon-ho went vegan during the making of this film, but afterwards he stopped being vegan.
Wow.
Controversial. It is way more vegan than other movies. I think it's important to note that there are almost no movies that exist that would be truly vegan. Even if there is a humane society, like little notification disclaimer at the end of movies, more likely than not, animals were eaten throughout the production of that movie. So no movie is truly vegan. So we have to understand that. But that said, I loved Okja. It's a great movie.
They're lying to us.
They're lying. Brandon, you're a big Bong Joon-ho fan. Why have you not seen Okja yet? It's on Netflix. Come on, dude.
Wonders. It's one of the wonders that I'm waiting to get to.
Brandon, if you watch this movie, you'll complete Bond's trilogy of environmentalist films with Snowpiercer and Host.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not that big of a fan of the Host. So
you like Snowpiercer?
Yeah, it's true. I love that movie.
Well, I would recommend Okja.
I need to watch it. I love movies, and I don't know why I haven't gotten it.
I love movies.
Really? Oh, okay.
It didn't take you for that kind of guy.
Yeah.
I've been roasted on my own podcast. I will see myself out.
Oh, this is the first time you've been roasted on your own podcast. Yeah.
I guess.
Get a job. I'm kidding.
Get a job.
No, I should stay on it.
That's an episode 35 joke. All right, come on, we've moved.
We're moving on.
All right. So my first pick.
What?
It's me
second
next.
pick. Well, you went Okja.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, I already did my first pick. All right, so
you
Brandon
used your double stack, man.
Yes, that's right. Oh my God, look who knows the rules of the show. Not me.
Yeah,
all right,
I've listened to an episode or more.
Yeah. All right, Brandon, give us your first pick.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, have you guys heard of a little documentary called Food Inc.?
Yes.
Yes.
Food Inc. Tell us about it.
I watched this movie so many times growing up. I saw this movie in theaters growing up. Why? Because my mom was kind of a health nut. Love you, Mom, if you're listening. But she made us eat less meat growing up, so we weren't vegans necessarily, but we didn't consume the amount that necessarily everybody in my neighborhood consumed, and as a result she took us to this movie. And one of the reasons why I've chosen this movie is because I think it's a great movie at depicting this, kind of like Okja, this corporate culture that is like allowing us to eat chemicals and so much mass-produced disgusting meat. Like they talk about in the film how they like don't really make like chicken nuggets, for example, in McDonald's or something. Aside from like the fries and stuff that are made from potatoes that are like filled with chemicals and stuff like that from Monsanto, with the chicken nuggets, they're ground up pieces of meat that are like not like a piece of the body. So it's like you don't know what you're getting. It's like that mystery food that you're talking about. And it's disgusting, right? And I
Russian
feel like
roulette nuggets.
Right, exactly. And if you were to try and eat food from a fast food restaurant, this is probably what you're going to get. You're going to get that. And I think it perfectly represents the vegan cause because I think it allows people to see what they're eating and maybe change their mind in regards to what they're dieting or what they have in their diet. And I think that is very important. And I think it's one of the main movies that has definitely impacted the way I see most fast food restaurants.
And I don't think you're alone in that because, while I haven't seen the film, I know that like, this is like one of like the most important documentaries in terms of like actually like like introducing a giant like demographic of people to this problem. You know, it's sort of like the Blackfish, what Blackfish did for like SeaWorld and stuff like that for like the meat industry. Because I know when this movie came out, there was like so much buzz about it, and I don't know why I didn't go see it. I remember my mom saw it or something, and she was like, "Oh, it's really gross." You know, she's also sort of a health nut and stuff like that, but she didn't force me to see it. So unlucky me, but also lucky me. I don't know. But yeah, I definitely want to check it out because I heard like there's some intense imagery in this film, isn't there, Brandon? Like,
yeah, it's pretty visceral because it like, and even if you're like very accustomed to like seeing like gore on film or something like that, it will disturb you in a sense because it is this realness, because it's a documentary. If you guys haven't heard of it, behind the YouTube or Spotify link, sorry, but yeah.
What?
It's a documentary. It's kind of insane.
Steven, have you seen Food Inc? Or what do you think?
So I think I watched it in like middle school or something. I don't have it listed as watched on Letterboxd though. I don't really remember it that well. Right. But I remember watching it and maybe turning it off or maybe watching the whole thing. I don't know. As a vegan, and also it's important to keep note that I was not vegan for about 21 years of my life. So it's important, to be empathetic about these sorts of things. Brandon, I just wanted to comment on the reductionism that you mentioned with your family, how you guys ate less meat. And that's a really great thing. Just veganism wise, a lot of vegans might say, no, that's not, hey, or like if someone says I'm vegan for the environment, they'll say, no, you're wrong. It's an ethical stance, which at its core, it is an ethical stance. But it's also about environmentalism and it's also about your health. And I think that whatever reason someone uses to either not eat meat or reduce the amount of meat eaten is a win for the vegan movement just in general, because fewer animals are being harmed in the process. But that said, Food Inc. is definitely a vegan documentary. I will give it the vegan stamp of approval. Even though I haven't seen it in a while, I would be interested in watching it again if there was some sort of, 3 movies only type thing, you had to choose one. Oh yeah, that. Yeah.
Oh shit, you're right.
Oh wait,
that's what this is.
A podcast?
Oh.
What the?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that works out real nice.
Spotify behind the YouTube.
Behind the YouTube link.
Whatever the fuck that meant, Brandon. Chris, I want to ask you.
Yes.
I know you haven't seen this movie, but it's on your watch list.
Mm-hmm.
Like what is the sort of the consensus around the meat industry in Hong Kong? That's what I want.
At least in the environment that I was raised in, like it was always kind of an afterthought, to be honest. Like it's not something I think a lot of people think about very much. Like I never really okay, I'm gonna tell this joke. There's kind of this really dumb joke about organic food in Asia. And the joke goes, what does organic food mean to Asian people? It better be walking or swimming, and that's organic to Asian people.
I this is gonna this I want to make a statement. This is going to sound bad, but what I'm saying is this is a fact. This isn't something racist I'm about to say. I want to make it clear, okay?
Yeah.
I used to work. This is all. I should not have put that. Forget. I hate Steven.
You will. There's never been.
Censor that. Censor that.
Yeah, censor it. Censor it. No. Oh God.
Go ahead.
Before I went vegan, I worked as a butcher for a while. For a month. Just a month. I don't know if you guys knew that.
No.
And only about 8 months after I was a butcher, when I was thinking about these things, and came back to my apartment smelling like chicken blood and having like bits of dead cow in my shoes and stuff or whatever, which was true. This is not exaggeration. Only 8 months after, roughly, did I decide to make that change in my life, and didn't fully know why, but knew it was something that made me uncomfortable. And I think just people thinking about meat and where it comes from in general makes people uncomfortable, you know?
Absolutely.
What was I talking about? Why am I talking about this?
I don't know.
Asian
Like
stuff.
a racism disclaimer?
There were a bunch of. Anyways, there were always, not always, but the majority of, like in the area I was working, there were a lot of larger Asian population, and a lot of people would come in and say they want extra fresh meat and stuff like that, and some people would be like very fresh. Like I think there's a very big culture. I'm not sure.
Yes, definitely.
Just in Asia in general about very fresh food. People would specifically Asian people when they would come to me, they would be like, I want the freshest, and I don't know anything. I just know what's in the case. I'm like, that's fresh because we don't know. Like we're just as clueless as you because we're not the ones who are doing the killing. You know, it just comes in a box and we unpack it and put it out in front of you.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah, definitely, Steven. Like that's something I think is kind of ingrained in Asian culture is the idea of like fresh. You know, like it's always like, at least in my family, for example, when it was time to go grocery shopping, we get our meat fresh from the market. Like I've seen, like the at least the market that my family went to, the all the like cow and chicken or whatever meat that was already. The animals were already killed and like the meat was just hanging up and, you know, yada, 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 you order whatever it is you want to bring home. But the fish is live, and watching that is brutal to me. Cause I know Ethan and Brandon know, but Steven, I don't eat seafood like ever, which is odd. Partially because I'm allergic to shellfish, but I choose not to eat any seafood at all.
Same, man.
Yeah, so that so yeah, like I definitely see what you mean in the sense of like it's also kind of like a cultural issue, or one that like we like, you know, it's kind of hard to pull people out of that because it's like it's so ingrained in the way they grew up or the world that they live in. So it's all about that. But yeah, no, that's a really interesting observation.
There's a really great animal rights activist named Gary Yourofsky. He has a video on YouTube called "The Greatest Speech You'll Ever Hear," clickbait title, whatever. But he talks about like some of the main reasons for why people don't go vegan, and one of those things is culture, and another thing is habit, you know, and another thing is it's tasty, you know. People like in comment sections of vegan videos will write, "Oh, eating a steak while watching this herder," or you know, or people responding eating steaks or whatever. It's like people who are, like I said, I ate meat for 21 years of my life about, you know, it's like people who are vegan know usually, you know, what meat tastes like and all that stuff. So, I don't know. It's, I lost track of where I was going with that again.
No,
but I knew it was
that's
related.
A great point because I think like the main thing for me of why I still eat meat is probably because of habit, you know, growing up, I would eat a lot of like
it's hard.
Chicken and beef, but I didn't eat any pork or fish. So now I like when people like I make a choice not to eat any pork or fish, you know, but I still eat shrimp and stuff like that because that was probably also habit. But like it is a lot harder for me to like sort of, it's easier for me to like to reject pork because of like knowing how they were treated, stuff like that, than it is for beef. And I don't know why that is, you know, it's weird. It's crazy.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, it's similar, like, in veganism, people will oftentimes make arguments of, like, if you grew up eating dogs all the time growing up, and, you know, when you're older, you're like, oh, I don't want to eat dogs anymore. That's just that these dogs are sentient. They're amazing creatures, or they're obviously capable of feeling pain or whatever. It's like, you know, the majority of the world would be against you on that, saying you shouldn't eat dogs. But, you know, veganism's more about, like, well, what's the difference between a dog and a cow, right? Is culture or habit or taste, etc. That kind of thing. I'm just trying to be the front man of veganism as a whole right now.
Yeah,
saying what people think.
Proud of you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, Steven, do you want to take us into your second film?
Oh my goodness, yes. You know, I didn't tell you guys this, but I have another thing prepared, but it's only if you guys are interested in it. I made a game called Spot the Vegan. It's a quick segment as a little intermission.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's play Spot the Vegan.
Okay. This is a very quick segment with just 3 rounds in total.
Okay.
In it, I will ask the 3 of you to guess which of 3 famous actors and filmmakers is vegan.
Okay.
Whoever wins the most rounds wins my heart. But more importantly, you are going to be the official owner of the unofficial official Stack theme song that I presented in this episode.
Oh, shit. All right. Stakes are high.
One really big rule. No Googling in this game. I know you guys love to Google things. Don't Google. Hands off the keyboards.
Yes.
Live in the moment and be free, okay?
Okay.
3 rounds total, 1 special bonus round.
Okay.
Number 1, Tim Heidecker, Zendaya, or Alec Baldwin. Which of the 3 of them is vegan? You guys can just say whenever. You don't have to buzz. Let's go around. Everyone can say whatever they think. Don't give reasoning.
For the listeners, Brandon and Chris just like raise their hand like schoolboys.
Like, oh, I know. Pick me. Teach.
Alec
go
Baldwin.
around. Okay, you think Alec Baldwin?
I'll go with Heidecker.
Heidecker? All right, Ethan?
Oh, shit. I kind of want to go Alec Baldwin too, but I guess to make things interesting, I'll go to Zendaya. Zendaya's Mishi. Let's go.
All right. Tim Heidecker is not vegan.
Dang.
So, damn. Zendaya is vegetarian. Baldwin is vegan. After being diagnosed as pre-diabetic in 2011, Baldwin had no choice but to amend his unhealthy lifestyle, and he turned to veganism. How sweet. So who's got a point? Let me keep track.
Okay.
Me.
Brandon's got the first
Brandon
point.
won. Okay. Round 2.
Okay.
Jason Biggs, Brad Pitt, or Greta Gerwig?
Oh, I'm going Brad Pitt. He's probably vegan.
All right. Ethan thinks Brad Pitt. Brandon, Chris?
I'm gonna go Brad Pitt as well.
Brandon thinks
I'm gonna go Jason Biggs.
Jason Biggs.
How dare you insult my look-alike in American Pie?
That guy fucked a pie, man.
I
insane.
know. I saw that.
Okay, he gets me every time. Jason Biggs is not vegan.
Dang.
He did appear in a PETA commercial, but he is not confirmed vegan, which is interesting. Brad Pitt is vegan and has been for a while.
Wow.
He stated that he is a passionate animal rights activist, and he declared that he absolutely hated it when he was married to Angelina Jolie, and she and his children ate animal-based products. Greta Gerwig is not vegan, and she has stated one time that she disliked a vegan soup. That's all I could find on her. There you go. She didn't like the soup.
How dare she?
So we got who? I don't know. You guys are
Brandon's at 2. I'm at 1.
Yeah.
Chris is at 0.
If Ethan takes the next round and Brandon doesn't, they'll tie. I have no chance. But
well, there is a special bonus round.
There's a bonus round, Chris.
Bonus round's worth double. I just made that up. Sure. All right. Round 3.
Okay.
Charlie Chaplin, Dakota Fanning, or Casey Affleck.
Oh shit.
Ooh,
I'm gonna go Casey Affleck.
I'll go Dakota.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Charlie Chapman.
Whoa.
Chapman.
Split
Chaplin,
3 ways.
not Chapman.
Wow.
Charlie Chapman.
Whoa. High stakes. Charlie Chaplin was not vegan.
Fuck!
He attempted to go vegetarian multiple times in his life, but it never worked out for him. Dakota Fanning is also not vegan. What the fuck? But she was seemingly once vegetarian. I found quotes about her being vegetarian online. Nothing conclusive, but she is not anymore. Casey Affleck is vegan, and he has gone on the record saying that he will not support an industry that makes unhealthy products by torturing animals. That is a direct quote from Casey Affleck. So what are we at now? I'm not good at keeping track.
3, 2,
Chris
and
is
0.
at 0. Well, no, is Chris at 0?
3.
No,
It's 3-1-0.
3, 1,
all right, well,
0.
we're going to do our special bonus round.
I
I don't think anyone can catch up to Brandon.
I could tie with him. I could tie with him if he double the points.
What can I say? I know my vegan actors, guys. I know them. They're my friends.
For the special bonus round, worth 2 points. Sure, I don't know, double.
Okay.
We've got Greg Turkington, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Daisy Ridley.
Oh shit! I'm
This
gonna
is
go
a
Greg
special
Turkington.
bonus round.
I'm gonna go Greg Turkington.
Sure, I'll go Pfeiffer then.
Even though he was the manager at Baskin Robbins and Ant-Man, I'm gonna go Greg Turkington.
I'm gonna go. Who was the last one?
Daisy Ridley.
I'm gonna go Daisy Ridley. I feel like she's vegan.
This is a special bonus round which means the rules were thrown out. All 3 of them are vegan. This was a special. We're all winners here on Stack. All 3 of them are vegan.
5
Who would have thought?
Well, then Brandon still clearly wins. Congratulations, Brandon. He wins.
You won my heart.
Steven's heart, and you won the song. So
you win the song. I will send it directly to you and no one else. I'll send it to you, Ethan. It'll make your life easier. But so Brandon wins. He owns it. Whatever.
Just extra steps for me to have to go steal it from Brandon. All right.
I also want to say, before I get into my second movie pick, that Wyatt wanted me to do a vegan takeover. My roommate Wyatt wanted me to do a vegan takeover of the pod and be like, my episode. But I didn't do that because I thought that's ridiculous. All right. My second pick. Let's get back to the juiciness. Yeah. This one's a doozy. Ooh. Somehow, I only just watched this movie a few days ago because my parents don't understand cinema. It's an absolute classic, and I'm sure some of you already know what movie I'm talking about. It will be talked about until the end of time, and I'm not kidding. It is one of the most influential, most genre-defining films ever created, at least within the last few decades. It's such a good movie that it spawned a sequel that some say is even better, and in total, there are 13 of these movies in the franchise since the original came out in 1984. We're talking about The Terminator, directed by James Vegan Cameron, starring Veganator himself, Arnold Vegan Schwarzenegger, the most vegan movie of all time.
Oh my God!
There are 13.
Are you kidding me?
There are 13 of these.
13. There are 13. I looked it up on IMDb. There are 13 Terminator movies in total. Insane.
I thought you were going to go Land Before Time.
I've not seen it.
What?
Wait a minute.
No. Outreach.
So, Steven, all right. Well, let's dive into this vegan reading of Terminator. What you got for us?
Yes. This is the normal Terminator, the Terminator that came out in 1984.
Yes.
It's action packed. It's filled with sex and gore and violence and guns and boobies and sex and violence and more violence and guns and fire and boobies.
Yeah.
What more could you ask for? That said, there does appear to be milk being drank in the film and ice cream being put into a pocket of an unsuspecting waitress. But there is no clarification that those are animal products, so it's up in the air. Those could be vegan. We don't know. 1984, did those vegan things exist? Definitely not. But it could have happened. You never know.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger has gone on the record saying that eating a plant-based diet is one of the most healthy diets one can follow. James Cameron produced a documentary called The Game Changers about plant-based and vegan diets and why they are healthy for you. He is an adamant vegan and believes, that eating a plant-based diet is super good for you. Very good.
Very good.
And
let me tell
also,
you
I can't.
something.
Oh, please, Brandon.
This has got to be. Because, listen, this has got to be a vegan-friendly franchise. Because guess what, guys? The Terminators, they're robots. They can't eat. Even if they wanted to. They can't eat that. They can't eat meat. They can't eat plants.
And
they
it's
are
also
vegan.
sort of like a cautionary tale.
It's a cautionary tale.
Where humans are the ones being hunted in these movies, you know?
That's right.
So it's
Because
sort of
they
like
eat animal products.
we're being put in animal shoes, you know?
Subliminal
So if you
messaging.
see that and you say, I don't want to be hunted down like a dang old deer, you know? Then maybe I shouldn't hunt down dang old deer and eat them. I don't know.
So my question is, what do you guys think of this movie?
I'm a fan of the first Terminator, you know? I still think that T2 is the superior in the franchise, even though
I haven't seen
I only believe that there are 2 films in this Terminator franchise, and that's just the first 2.
There's
Don't care
3.
about the rest. Nope. Don't care about the rest. There's no others. Nope.
Just
don't
throw 'em
care
in the
about
bin.
this. Throw them in the bin. Throw them in the fucking fire pit. I love Arnold in this movie. You know, I think it might be a career-defining role for him. Do I see him more as the Terminator or as
Conan the Barbarian?
Conan? No, I don't. I see him as the Terminator. What I'm talking about. It's really fun, and the effects were great at the time. You know, James Cameron's always like a director that likes to push visual effects, as we've talked about previously on the podcast. And there's some really cool practical stuff in here, like the eye surgery scene, you know, how they were able to do that with sort of creating a faux mirror and stuff like that. And sort of the Terminator, like puppetry and stop motion behind the actual robots. And it makes for a really great, like, you know, because it's a Terminator. It's hunting down people, so it's a good chase movie. You know, it gets a little hot and steamy relationship between the two humans. You know, and we get that really awkwardly long sex scene in the motel. But but it leads to
It's great.
Doesn't bother
it's
me.
wonderful.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
wonderful.
It's great.
Linda Hamilton.
Pause and relax.
Yeah, great female character.
5 out of 5 on the boner scale.
5 out of 5.
See Arnold's butt in it.
Yeah, and we get to see some Arnold butt cheeks in this movie quite a bit. You know,
Goddamn
that's a staple.
right.
Naked time traveling people, always very cool.
Love
Vegan ass.
Now that there's a vegan ass.
Yeah.
And yeah, I enjoy
dog.
this film. What do you guys think, Brandon?
James Cameron's, at least because I've seen all of his like major films, so I'm not counting his Piranha film or his 2 documentaries, but out of all of his narrative features that I've seen from Terminator after, he's never made a bad movie. And Terminator is just a long line. Yeah, screw you. Avatar's a good movie.
Ethan just flipped.
Not
Brandon
according
off.
to our film theory professor.
She's wrong. I said
It's all
it.
gone.
I said
Nope.
it.
Yeah, but she also said Captain America's racist, so.
Shut up.
But yeah, it's a great movie. It's one of my favorite films that's an action movie. It's up there with T2 for me, just because I think the first time I watched T2, it just caught me off guard and how it was surprising. But with Terminator, I consistently get the same level of enjoyment every time I watch it, and it's a film that is surprisingly not super high budget in comparison to a lot of action films you might see, right? So like I feel like it takes liberties that most films wouldn't have, and it's a very enjoyable feature because of it. It's a great sci-fi. Chris?
Yeah. I mean, you know, I've I've never approached the Terminator movies with a vegan lens before. But I mean, your argument about like how like it's kind of like placing humans in the position of the animals, like, you know, kind of not being the apex predator anymore, is actually a kind of an interesting take on the whole concept of, you know, and like how you can empathize, I feel like. And I feel like that's a big part of the philosophy of veganism, is kind of like creating a sense of like holistic empathy between human and nature. Or like, yeah, I'm not sure, but like, I don't know, I think under that lens, I can definitely see why one might argue that this is a strong vegan film. So I'm on board with it.
Only difference is an animal can't run. It's trapped.
Ooh, it's true.
Forever. Just like an Okja at the end of Okja. And then that one animal. Oh, no, spoiler. Never mind.
Never mind.
I'm not listening. Blah, blah, blah,
No,
blah.
we don't know anything. I was talking about a different Okja.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. All right. Great second pick. Chris, go into yours.
Yep. So this is the only film this is one of the few films that really stimulated my aversion to seafood. This was like around the time when I made that conscious decision. And this was definitely one of them. It's a 2009 documentary by, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Louis C.K. by Louis C.K. No, it's Louis P.S.I.H.O.Y.O.S. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. 2009, it's called The Cove. So The Cove is kind of like a predecessor in a weird way to Blackfish. It explores the true story of a group of people who vowed to protect animals all over the world, and they go into a covert mission in Japan where they know that a dolphin hunting like scheme is going on, where it is now illegal in Japan to hunt dolphins. And it's a whole like exploration of how the meat industry in Japan and just like the morality of it all. There are these horrifying images that I saw in this film that stick with me today, where an entire cove, hence the name of the film, The Cove, is completely red. They corral these dolphins into this little cove, send their boats in, net them in, and stab them in the water right there and then, pull them out, harvest their meat, yada, yada, yada. Obviously very, very troubling and disturbing images, but when I watched this as a kid, it really had a fundamental effect on me, because it really made me realize that a lot of what I'm eating is like a sentient being. So like at the very like I'm not a vegan, but this made me very much more aware about like if I do choose to eat meat, I should be doing it in a way that's like at least a little bit empathetic, and like I'm choosing like sustainable options rather than like much more like, you know, just like these very like corporate like just shoveling meat through like a freaking like grinder or something. And I don't know, this movie just really touched me in a way as a kid. And you know, it's kind of similar to Blackfish, and I almost picked like one of those David Attenborough docs, like Blue Planet 2 or Our Planet in place of this. But if I would be lying to myself if I didn't like pick this film, because it really is like one of, if not the only film that has genuinely affected my diet. So yeah, The Cove.
Wow, I've never heard of this film. I looked it up, and that poster is insane. Like, very dynamic, but like kind of scary poster. Those dolphins having harpoons thrown at them. That's kind of intense.
Yeah.
I know there's like this show, I don't know, it's on like the History Channel or something, about like these guys that go after like whale poachers in the Pacific. I think that, I don't know, just this movie just reminded me of that, and it sounds like a very cool concept. I have yet to see it, and I definitely want to check it out. What do you guys think?
I have heard of it before, just because like whenever you hear about, like, my parents are big on the environment and big on health, so I've obviously heard of this film. I just haven't seen it. Like, they were more focused on like the process side of things than the actual animal rights, but I definitely recognize your point because I know where you come from in terms of your belief about seafood and stuff. So yeah, good choice.
What about you, Steven?
Yeah, I also have not seen this movie. I think I've seen clips of it on YouTube or some other website in the past. I think it definitely does a great job of getting the emotional aspect of, in the real, just the real world, like what's happening to these animals out there. There's a thing that people say in veganism a lot, which is if it's not good enough for your eyes, then is it good enough for your stomach? And it's this kind of film, I think, really would probably make someone think of that question. I'm sure that's what you thought of, Chris. When you saw this movie, you saw what they were doing to these animals, and you're like, "Well, I don't want to eat that. That looks horrible. I don't want those animals that to happen. I don't want to have anything to do with that."
Yeah.
I've seen documentaries on how they treat the dolphins and stuff in Japan, and I remember seeing one or like a clip on YouTube about where they were taking a tarp and like covering an entire section of a bay so that the reporters couldn't actually film it. Yeah. Is that from The Cove? Or no?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I've seen part of it then, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, definitely. I mean, we're, at the end of movies, you'll see the American Humane Society thing. I'm stealing this from Letterboxd from another movie. Instead of it saying, no animals were harmed in the making of this film, it would read, all animals were harmed in the making of this film. So would it be a vegan movie? I think yes, because it furthers the movement.
All right. Cool pick. Fuck. My AC is really, or my heating is really loud. Just turned on. Oh, well, I
can't hear it.
Okay, well, I'll just fix it in post because my mic's going fucking nuts right now. My audition. Anyways. Okay, so my second pick, since my first one was Okja. Let's see. Maybe I'll go more and more outside the box like you, Chris. So my second pick is an animated film.
I know what this is.
Directed by one of the most one of the leading animators in stop motion animation. That is, of course, Nick Park. He teamed up with Peter Lord to direct this 2000 film that is Chicken Run.
Oh, I did not know what this is.
What?
I didn't think you were gonna pick this.
Come on, I love Chicken Run. Chicken Run is great.
Can't wait for Chicken Run 2.
It's such... I remember the last time I watched this movie was like I was going to college. I was going to Chapman. I was driving there right before freshman year. We stopped for a night and we watched this movie. And it's like, it's kind of crazy how much they parallel like the meat industry with the Holocaust in this movie. Like, it's kind of a Holocaust movie as an animated film. Like, this sort of like the symbolism and imagery in there, and like sort of the dark jokes that they tell in it. It's kind of insane. And I don't know. I love stop motion animation, and you really root for these chickens to be free, so they're not turned into pies, the chicken pot pies. I think that's what this farm is about. And while this movie does feature Mel Gibson, which is weird, like talking about everything that I just talked about before. Fuck Mel Gibson, but he does a good vocal performance as the American Rooster guy. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna sing any more praise than fuck. But it's an interesting movie that's like sort of gone away from the sort of the animation discourse, you know. But I think they're making a sequel or something like that, like on Netflix or something.
They aren't. Mel Gibson's not involved.
Woo!
What? Who would have thought?
Yeah. Brandon, what do you think about Chicken Run?
This is a childhood favorite of mine.
Yeah?
Yeah, I remember seeing this movie so much as a kid. I have the VHS tape for it back home. And I think it's a really, like you said, it's a very good, like, attempt at, it's like a animal holocaust movie, kind of like, you know, how in Animal Farm, the book, it's like this depiction of life through the eyes of an animal and like what kind of society they were on, and it makes it harder to eat them or to consider them not to be living intelligent beings. And Chicken One was really effective in that for me, and I really enjoyed the movie. I haven't watched it in years, so I can't speak to its veganness as much, but I do remember that it is very much a survival movie, and a lot like other animal films, maybe like Wes Anderson's Fantastic Mr. Fox, or maybe even a little bit of Over the Hedge from DreamWorks. You've got that like pro-animal status, and I really fuck with that.
All right, Steven, what do you think about Chicken Run? Have you seen it?
Yeah. You know, I think I saw it when I was a kid at some point or another. I don't remember it too well. But I think this movie really puts on display, there's a quote from philosopher Jeremy Bentham where he said, "The question is not, can they reason, nor can they talk, but can they suffer?" You know, and that's what should determine how we treat, how we treat these particular things, whether they're sentient beings or whatever it is, you know. Right. There's another quote that I forgot already, so I'm not going to say it. I don't know why I said that. But no, I'm a sucker for claymation and stop motion. I've seen this movie at some point when I was a snot-nosed brat or whatever. So yeah, sure, maybe vegan, maybe not. I haven't seen it, so I can't say, but looks fun.
Chris, Chicken Run.
I'm on the exact same boat as Steven. Never seen this movie. But hey, Mel Gibson's in it, so I gotta check it out.
What?
Oh God! Worst sentence.
Got it.
We got it.
But yeah, I don't know anything about this movie, so I'm in the exact same boat as Steven. I mean, it has your blessing and Brandon's blessing, so
good movie.
Two non-vegans.
Yeah. Two non-vegans. Yeah.
We just
this
don't
is the
know.
Non-vegan seal of approval that it is a vegan movie.
We just don't know.
But two non-vegans has to equal one, right?
Ooh.
One
no,
vegan.
I'm pretty sure that equals like even less veganism, because that's two people's worth of eating meat.
Yeah, but I've reduced.
No, you. Whatever. What's your second pick, you weirdo?
Yes. I went outside of the box too, and I chose a movie where I think the characters in the film would be vegan if they existed in the real world today, and that's Cher and Clueless. That Amy Heckerling movie.
Clueless?
I went through that movie. Yeah, I went through that movie. And I saw she only ate veggie sticks and things that were not.
I got chills.
Were not meat or dairy products. And listen, Alicia Silverstone, she raises her kids to be vegan.
This is true.
Her son has a vegan diet. Yes.
One of the famous vegans.
I'm not entirely sure if she is herself, but she is a vegetarian. And I think that is a very good point to add to this as well. But yeah, I think the characters of this movie would be vegan because nobody seems to be eating meat during the course of this film, and I don't know why.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, believe it or not, I am a big Clueless fan. It's the best adaptation of Emma, I believe. for 2 reasons. Paul Rudd, number 1. Reason number 2, Paul Rudd listening to Radiohead. That's, I don't know. Clueless is a fun movie, but, you know, as someone who's not vegan, I don't know if I can speak to this, but I feel like sort of the Valley Girl sort of persona may be a little bit stereotypical of the vegan lifestyle. Maybe you can comment a bit more on that, Steven. What do you think?
So I have seen this movie about almost 2 years ago, year and a half ago, and I honestly don't remember it that well. My roommate Wyatt would be ashamed of me right now. He'd probably be strangling me and probably even kill me. Yeah, he does that. He's killed me a few times, actually. I can't remember. My review for this movie on Letterboxd does no help for me to help me rejog my memory. It just says, total piece of shit movie, literal trash. Don't even know why I watched this excuse of a film. The most racist and anti-Semitic film I have seen in my entire fucking life. I obviously was not having a good day, and I wanted to take it out on
Clueless. Haven't seen Triumph of the Will or Birth of a Nation or Jude Suss, but okay. Wow.
So I obviously I don't remember the movie that well. I need to rewatch it. Wyatt, my roommate Wyatt, friend of the show, he has many copies of Clueless that I could borrow and watch. But yeah, is it vegan? Is it not? Who knows? Oh, man. I went hard on this film. I might have to delete this review. This is I'm looking at it like in the comments. My roommate Wyatt just said, "Hey, I own this movie, and you didn't watch it with me." And then I just responded, "Fuck off, Wyatt!" And I went into him. You should be ashamed of yourself for promoting fascism by owning this piece of shit film. How dare you accuse me of steal? It's I'm not gonna read the rest of this. It's
I feel
going
like
off topic.
Something you two need to work out. You know, that's maybe behind the scenes of this podcast. But
maybe you can bond by watching Clueless, a very vegan film.
It's a bromance. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, Brandon. I'll say it's maybe vegan.
Maybe vegan.
Yeah.
Maybe vegan. Stamp of approval.
Stamp
guys.
of maybe.
Maybe? Question mark. Chris, what do you think about Clueless?
Haven't seen it.
It's great.
Yeah, I just checked. I've only seen 4 Alicia Silverstone films, and this is not one of them. I've only seen Killing a Sacred Deer, Tropic Thunder, Batman and Robin, and Scooby-Doo 2.
That's a random assortment of films.
Killing of a Sacred Deer?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I was looking. I didn't even remember she was in. Oh yeah, she's
Nothing like Clueless.
Martin's mother is her role name.
Shout out to Martin's
That's
mother.
Insane.
That's insane.
That is insane.
Whoa.
She's in a whoa.
You're gonna have to give me a second.
All right. Yeah. 90s.
90s. The 90s, right? That is a really 90s movie. Okay. Well, let's get into our final round here. You, Steven, what's your last vegan pick?
Oh, whoa. Already on the final vegan pick. Next up is my only serious pick for this episode. Okay. It's a movie I would indeed watch on a stacked vegan movie night. Mm-hmm. This one's one of the only truly vegan movies out there. Some might go as far as to say that this film is straight up vegan propaganda. I would disagree with them, but some people believe that. It's a documentary narrated by notable vegan celebrities, including vegan Joaquin Phoenix, vegan Rooney Mara, vegan Kat Von D, and among others. It's a piece about animal exploitation, violence, and abuse in Australia, and more broadly, the world, as nearly all practices shown in the film, from macerating and grinding up newborn chicks within hours of hatching, to detonating a bolt gun to the heads of 6-month-old cows, to bludgeoning unproductive animals to death within their first weeks, sometimes days of life, are also practiced in the US, Canada, and throughout Europe. It's not just Australia. And some of these practices are even worse in the US. It's considered one of the scariest horror films ever created, many finding themselves unable to finish it, as some of the scariest horror films are from real life. Whoa. On Letterboxd, it's amongst the top-ranking documentary films at number 12. This is Dominion, directed by Chris Del Force.
Dominion.
This is a movie I've wanted to watch with my roommates, who are friends of the show, Aiden and Wyatt, but both have repeatedly refused. I've asked them maybe 10 times by now each. I've wanted to watch this with my family members back home, and none have accepted. I've asked friends, and just a bunch of friends in general, family members, if they would watch this film. I would send them a link. The full movie is free to watch on YouTube. It's 2 hours long. You can watch it on 2 times speed if you wanted to. I've seen the movie 2 times because I hate myself. But it's a pretty... it definitely shows some grotesque imagery that can make people uncomfortable, imagery that could even, and this is true, incite forms of PTSD in people for watching this kind of imagery. These are not selected clips. These are clips that are common daily occurrences for farmers and animal agriculture factory farm workers and so on and so forth. These are things that happen on a daily basis. Throughout the film, statistics are shown regarding just how many animals die each year, showcasing each species on its own and what it endures on a daily basis, each segment being narrated by different vegan activists. This would be, in my opinion, one of the most vegan movies out there because it's almost certain that every person involved in this movie is vegan. Therefore, there were no animals harmed in the production of it. Because it was all undercover work, so there's nothing they did to intentionally hurt the animals, but rather expose what's going on. Yeah, what do you guys think? I don't think any of you guys have seen it, but have any of you heard of it?
I think I heard of it when you recently watched this, didn't you? I think it showed up on my activity feed or something like that from you, because you're the only person.
I think it's the only film I've watched, one of the only films of like 50 or something that I have given a star rating to. I recently updated my letterbox to remove all of my star ratings. I'm one of those pieces of shit that only like or not like movies, because I'm not huge into the star ratings, but I have given it 5 stars because I think it's an important movie that everyone needs to see. My only complaint with the movie is there is a music backing track to a lot of the footage being shown, and I think it would be a lot more powerful if there was just silence there and you were just watching these clips as is. Pull a Coen Brothers or whatever.
Right, that's true.
Just let it play out. But yeah, there's a lot of very, very heavy stuff in this film, and I can't recommend this film enough. I think it would make for a great movie and provoke some very interesting conversation.
It sounds very intense, and sometimes I'm in the mood for that intense stuff, and it's good to hear that it's on YouTube. That's really accessible. So yeah, maybe one day I'll just I'll pull off the Band-Aid and go check it out. Yeah, you're the only person I know that's seen it, and your review speaks volumes. You made the effort to say that you made a review, but there's nothing in it.
The review, does it not show up on Letterboxd? Is it just a square?
It's just blank. It's an emoji.
Oh.
Probably. Maybe it's different on the phone.
But
on the computer, it's just blank.
It's just a vomit emoji, a guy vomiting.
Ah, okay.
Or like a nauseous guy or something. I was pretty minimalistic with my review because I think the film speaks for itself. I think more people need to see it.
Yeah, definitely. Chris, Brandon, what do you guys think?
I've never heard of it. Never even I've never even heard of it. So but I just searched it on the Letterboxd, and that poster is haunting.
Yeah.
Just the
yeah.
Hang on, let me just search it
the
again.
Calf.
Is it that little calf just staring at you, and in that dark room, and just that top image of all those pigs kind of corralled into this little thing is just. Man, stuff like that makes me think humans, we kind of suck sometimes.
Sure,
we do.
Yeah, Brandon.
Kind of crazy.
I hadn't heard of the movie, but I'd seen the poster before because I think It's weird because I don't think I knew it was a movie, but I've heard of this based on what I've seen from the poster, because I've seen the poster places. I must know the movie exists, and I just have never looked into it further than that. But I mean, it sounds scary. Sounds like a real life horror movie to me. But it's one we often ignore because as a society we are faced with the choice between something easy to make and something that seems harder but actually isn't.
Right.
So yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well,
maybe one movie night we can just get real depressing and watch it and show Steven that we are better than his roommates.
If you can't bring yourself to watch it, I recommend turning it on anyways and just skimming through it and just looking at stuff and looking away every now and then, or put on your favorite song or your favorite tunes, or get your buddies and pals.
Put on
Put on the
VeggieTales.
SpongeBob soundtrack.
That was a runner-up for me right there. I almost mentioned VeggieTales. Did not, though, because thought to be too stupid. But yeah, that's my only serious film because I didn't want to be a buzzkill. There are lots of other serious movies out there, but I chose not to say that and just meme a bunch.
Okay.
Because that's way more fun.
Well, I appreciate the serious pick. Wow, you got a really interesting stack. You got Joker, Terminator, and then Dominion. Oh fuck.
That's my stack, baby. That's it. That's how I roll.
All right. Well, Chris, you want to share with us your last film in your stack?
Yeah, so for my final film, I thought about doing an animation film.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of hopping between a bunch of movies, and some of them are like random movies from like my childhood that I've recently realized are about the environment a lot. Like say The Ant Bully or Over the Hedge, Ice Age 2, B movie. But then I realized there's this other film that kind of like it just got swept under the rug for me in this category. But then I realized is filled to the brim with animation and visual effects. Very pro-environmentalist and anti-corporation narrative film. Steven, I'm really happy you brought up Terminator because this is also a James Cameron movie. I'm bringing back James Cameron's 2009 Avatar for this episode.
Vegan Cameron.
Yep, Vegan Cameron. He's the most popular vegan director in our stack, apparently. I'm sure everyone here knows the story of Avatar, so I won't go into it too much, but basically science fiction adventure narrative about indigenous rights, about environmentalism, and very anti-corporate. I wanted to pick this film because very few films, at least to me, are able to immerse me in such a beautiful natural world. A lot of the worlds that I tend to be drawn into are very technologically advanced and very that kind of thing tends to be what I'm drawn into. But then there are sometimes a lot of these other films, and including and especially Avatar, where I feel so enworldened by the planet of Pandora. I feel the way in which the story unravels this kind of mystery about how the world of Pandora works, the connection between humans and the environment and humans and animals is quite hyperbolic, to be honest, but in a way that, for me at least, considering this is a science fiction fantasy film, it really worked for me. And when I watched this film, I remember just feeling very inspired to to be a more environmentally conscious human being. And I think, at least on some level, philosophically or practically, that is kind of what veganism's about. So at least to me, that's why I think Avatar is a great vegan film.
Wait, Chris, can I ask you, did you know that James Cameron was a vegan before picking this film?
No.
Oh.
I just knew it was about environmentalism, so it worked out.
Okay.
But okay. Ethan, I'll let you have your spiel, but Brandon...
I don't want to have a spiel. Brandon, you talk.
I am a fan of this choice. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I just watched this movie about 2 weeks ago again because of our infamous now Aquaman Avatar debate, in which I rewatched the film to see if my opinion would change, because that's what you got to do sometimes.
Truth.
And I totally agree with you, Chris. This film really nails that environmentalist message. James Cameron is a big environmentalist. He's been pushing for climate change reform for years, since the early 90s, really, when he first started to take off as a big director. And not only that, but he does push a vegan sort of message in the film. It's about appreciating your environment. The Na'vi rarely eat food meat because they are enveloped in this world where they are connected to the beings that give them their power. So you've got the banshee, and you've got their horse creatures that they ride, where they have to literally connect with them on a spiritual level. The only time an animal is hurt by one of the main characters who's not an antagonist within the film is when Jake is trying to survive the night in the jungle, and it stabs a dog-like creature. And what is cool, what takes after a lot of indigenous cultures within the US and across South America, is you like say a prayer, and like if it's suffering, like you take it out quickly, because it's like you want it to become one with its environment, and you don't want it to like you don't want it to suffer, essentially. And you are thankful for it. You know, if you are to kill an animal, that's the way to do it, right? But in this film, they don't emphasize that, because it's the relationship with nature that's important. So I dig this pick, and you're totally right for this. I'm looking at Ethan, because he's wrong.
Ethan, I'll defend you on Aquaman anytime, but I am Avatar. I'm also an Avatar fan too.
Can't
so
wait for Avatar 2, baby. Let's go.
Well, that makes one of you.
Ethan, do you not like this movie?
I don't care. I don't care about Avatar.
That's fine.
It's a movie. As Brandon would say about Joker, it's a movie. What about you, Steven? You think Avatar? What do you think about Avatar?
You know, I did see it when it was in theaters when I was a snot-nosed brat. And I remember thinking about it and saying to my mom, what are they doing with their hair tentacles? What's that? Like, I did actually ask my mom about that.
Yeah.
And she was like, I don't fucking know. James Cameron's high on speed or something. No, I don't know. Probably. It's probably vegan. Does it have the veganator himself in it? I don't think so. So that's all I have to say.
Yeah, that's one less vegan.
One
James
less
Cameron
vegan
movie than Terminator.
Vegan, exactly. So which one's more vegan? It's honestly pretty tricky because like you said, it deals a lot with environmentalism, and the environmental impact of a vegan diet is massive. You know, if people just stopped eating meat altogether, you could free up to 70% of farmland that's currently occupied for animal agriculture. So it makes total sense. Yeah, it's very big. You're thinking, do animals take up that much space? But you have to take into consideration the feed that you raise for those animals, because animals are, they're pretty demanding creatures. They need a lot of food to, get really big. But I would say it's probably a vegan movie, but it doesn't have the veganator, so it loses points.
There you go. -3 points. Sorry, haha.
-3 points, haha.
Yeah.
LOL, Rafflecopter.
If you want to hear about what I think about Avatar, just go to the Epic Movies podcast. I don't know.
Oh, was that mentioned there?
Yeah, that was in the Epic Movies.
It's a repeat.
It's a repeat pick.
I was looking at that
it
list.
wasn't a final.
It wasn't a final, so the rules are it can be repeated if it's not in the final stack. But, yeah, blue people, am I right? Crazy.
True.
Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff that Cameron guy thinks of.
Yeah, fucking racist, yeah.
Fuck you!
Who cares if their skin's blue, man?
They're not real! It's fine, they're not real!
But what if?
Alright. Well, okay, cool, interesting pick, Chris. Good pick, bad movie, in my opinion. No, I'm just kidding. It's an okay movie.
Great pick,
My last pick is actually a film that was mentioned before in the episode, but wasn't chosen for a pick. Someone name dropped it. It's an animated movie. This is probably what you're maybe thinking about, Chris. I don't know.
Oh, no.
It's a 1988 movie. It's directed by a vegetarian, not a vegan, but its main
phony.
Every single protagonist in this movie is a vegan. And that is...
No way.
Don Bluth's The Land Before Time.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now let me tell you.
Love this movie.
There is not a single vegan dish that I craved more as a child than the tree star.
Stars.
How did they make a leaf look so fucking delicious? What are you doing? Did you get up and leave?
Because I predicted
Oh yeah.
I'm a genius.
This movie actually holds up, I think it's very I really like the animation of Don Bluth. I think he does a very good job making fluid animations of characters. I think the world building of this prehistoric world is great, but in terms of its vegan narrative, yeah, they're all vegan characters because they're all plant-eating dinosaurs, all these dinosaur kids, and the biggest the threat of this film is a carnivore that only eats meat. So what does that say about fucking society, Fucking let the dinosaurs do the talking, Come on. My man Littlefoot, got Ducky. You got Sarah. She's kind of kind of an asshole sometimes, but you know,
Yep.
we love her.
I hate her.
And then
I hate her.
I hate
Fuck her.
All right, you can take your stance on that. What's the stoner one? What's his name?
Oh, what's his name?
Fucking
Spike?
Spike. Yes, and then Terry, right? That's the pterodactyl. I don't remember.
Petrie.
Terry the pterodactyl's from Pee-wee's Playhouse. Petrie the pterodactyl's from Land Before Time. Petrie's kind of a baby.
Petrie's
baby.
He goes, Littlefoot. Anyways, yeah, what do you guys think about
He sounds like Tommy saying Chucky in Land Before Time. Damn.
Chris, I know you're a big fan of the Land Before Time series. What do you think about this as vegan cinema?
If for those of you who don't know, I have seen every Land Before Time film except for the 2016 one called Journey of the Brave because it's not canon, at least to me. So yes, Land Before Time. I think a lot of them, like, especially as a kid, you know, right? Yeah. It's like it's a very fascinating. I mean, I was one of those kids. I think every kid like goes through like a phase of like being really into a thing, and at least one of mine was dinosaurs. So naturally, Land Before Time was a big thing for me.
Yeah.
A lot of their stories about like even like some of their sequels, like the third one's called The Time of Great Giving. It's literally a film about sharing.
Yeah.
So I would say a good bit of my moral compass comes from Land Before Time.
That's right.
So, but yes, this first film by Don Bluth, it is fantastic, timeless animation, beautiful story about family and coming together, friendship and all that, you know, classic like childhood like values being put forward here. But yeah, I remember like at the time as a kid, like although I like ate meat, like, you know, even as a kid, like I would empathize so much with these creatures who like were being hunted by
the T-Rex,
by like the T-Rexes, aka sharp tooths as they called them.
Sharp tooth
and sharp tooth run. But you know, like yeah, the movie is like incredibly like empathetic. Like, okay, spoiler alert. The mom died, and you watch her die in this movie, and you see like how painful this shit. It makes you feel like it kind of puts you as an observer into the perspective of someone watching like an animal lose their mother because of being of a carnivore, and kind of like Bambi.
Better than Bambi.
Yeah, it is better than Bambi in my opinion too.
Because dinosaurs.
Because dinosaurs.
Yes.
Yeah. Dinosaur talk episode 2.
Oh shit! Return. What a pull.
But yeah, okay, yeah. I love Land Before Time. I think these movies are so fun and so great. I think this is a great pick, Ethan. And yes, tree stars, delicious. I would mush that into a salad. If I could.
Yes, I would just eat a plate full of tree stars because I bet they're like the best. Steven, what do you think about The Land Before Time?
Yeah, that's a really great question, Ethan. I think that's a question we all think about. What do we think about The Land Before Time? It's 69 minutes long on the dot.
Ooh, now that means it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, that means it's going to be a great time. Instant 5 out of 5 on the boner scale. Dare I say 69 out of 5 on the boner scale. The highest boner rating I've ever given. This is true.
Remember, these are kids.
Are they? Oh, they are kids. That might be a 0. By default, if a movie, in case any of the listeners didn't know or you guys didn't know, if a movie features any children, it gets docked points on the boner scale. Because you do not want to have a boner for those movies.
But believe it or not, Stack does not advocate for pedophilia.
It's true. This was established in the Aiden podcast, the cool movies. This was established.
That's true.
I know the canon.
This is a second warning, guys. We do not support pedophilia. Let our
stance
do not. Be clear.
If you have pedophilic urges, seek help. Do not act on them. Please see a doctor.
Yes.
There is help. There is an end. There's light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. That was just so funny. Brandon.
What? Brandon, what are you doing? Land Before Time. Are you drawing? What are you drawing? What are you doing over there?
You Joker diarying?
Are you scribbling during the podcast again?
Yeah,
I told you not to draw.
Scribble. Yeah, I'm scribbling because I hate you. I hate
draws during the podcast, and when I'm editing it, the scribbling, it feels like he's scratching in my ears. Quit scribbling! I can see you doing it. Stop it. Talk about Land Before Time.
Big water.
Big water.
Big water.
I've seen like 2 or 3 of these movies, and I can tell you, very, very, very charming films. I remember checking these out from Blockbuster as a child, really enjoying them, especially the first one. It's got a good message to it about family, and not only that, but like everybody in this movie, especially Littlefoot, is a vegetarian, so that's epic. Or vegan. Sorry.
I mean, they don't eat.
I don't know.
I don't think they eat dairy
antagonist.
products. So.
Dairy
the
products.
antagonist is a carnivore, so just saying, not everyone in this movie.
But that's
yeah,
the villain,
but that's
so.
yeah,
That's
but
true.
that's
I
okay.
know. Just correcting what Ethan
Yeah,
said.
the
that's all.
villain is meant to be villainized for a reason. He's gonna eat them.
Shit, I may have said babe. Right
You said
character.
everybody.
Fuck. All right, let's
throwing
end
it
this
out
podcast. I'm sorry. Just kidding.
What?
No, I'm kidding.
What?
Kidding.
What?
Kidding.
Oh.
All right. Well, then let's go on
thought
your
it was
last
cool.
movie.
My last movie.
All right, Brandon, give it.
All right, guys. My last film. It's a vegan warning shot, if you will.
A warning shot.
A warning
Oh,
shot.
boy.
What does that mean?
Buckshot. Bam.
If we don't eat these plants, they're coming to get us, and that's why I've chosen Little Shop of Horrors.
Wow.
I think
We're very outside the box. I will give you that.
You better eat vegan, or these plants are gonna kill you guys. Rick Moranis tried to tell us. That's all I gotta say. Frank Oz knew what he was talking about. You know, the plant is the villain here because it eats meat itself, and we can't have that. So we got to eat that plant before he eats us. So you got to focus on that stuff. Even if he's like an alien plant, you know, it's encouraging us to go in that direction and eat something sentient that is a plant.
Yeah, it raises weird questions. Sentience in a plant. Would eating that plant in Little Shop of Horrors be considered vegan? I don't know.
Plants.
But if it feels pain, that's the thing. You know, the question is if
true.
it can suffer. You know, if it can suffer, then we shouldn't eat it according to the philosophy of veganism, right?
But what if it's making us suffer?
Ooh. Well, it's a bit tricky, you know? We're getting into hypotheticals here.
Yeah.
I am a
I don't know.
philosopher. I have come
Shut
here
up.
from my philosophy.
I am
Here,
a philosopher.
let's look at it this way. If you were
Put that on
trapped,
a shirt.
if you were in like a house, someone fucking trapped you, and you're like prisoners style. You're in someone's fucking like you're like fuck, help me, you know, or whatever. Would you want to kill that person and then eat that person?
That's a person. I'm talking about plants.
Well, yeah, but if both are sentient and both can
Oh,
suffer.
if it's a plant person?
Sure.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll
you know,
fucking eat it.
we're in hypotheticals, man.
Man.
I am no cannibal, fella.
Yeah.
Brandon the philosopher.
Yes.
I
Never
am
get
changes
into
me.
a philosophy
you
debate.
really
with
thought
Brandon.
this philosophy through. You really thought this one through, didn't you, when you were
Listen-
coming up with this
Listen,
philosophy?
guys, I am in philosophy through science fiction.
Oh
Shut
wow!
up.
So
Oh yeah,
Whoa.
yeah. Ethan and I took that 2 years
Hot
ago.
shit.
so
Shut
much
up.
like 90% of
but
the
it's
entire
fresh.
university.
It's fresh in my mind. Okay, it's fresh. I get the reasoning thing. I really do. I got Steven's back on that. What he talked about with the reason. If something can reason, I don't think that plant can reason, which is why.
Well, I'm not saying if it can reason. I'm saying if it can suffer. If it can suffer, which I have seen, not the whole movie. I've seen part of it, and I turned it off. Long story, whatever. But it does seem to be able to suffer. You know,
Yeah.
It wants blood
It's
at certain
faking it.
points. Okay.
I think I disagree with this being a vegan movie strongly.
Ooh. Whoa.
Because this made me afraid of plants and made me not want to eat plants and only meat. I can't trust plants after this movie. They're too, they make plants seem like the enemy. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta bear in mind though that even though, let's say you're moving away from a more herbivore lifestyle and moving to a more carnivore lifestyle, all those animals are still eating plants. So you're still eating plants, even if you're eating animals.
Holy fuck.
You can't
Well then
get away from this.
I can only eat carnivores then.
It doesn't
I'm only eating like tigers and
all
shit.
the
Are
way
you
at the
kidding
top
me?
of the food chain. Yeah.
I'm the alpha human. I only eat carnivores.
You're baby then if you're afraid of plants because you
Shut up. Shut up.
you need to be eating more plants because they're gonna come and get you. I'm telling you.
What if they
the
grow
only way.
inside me and there's evil plants inside me? It's like that.
You've seen too
it's like
much of that
one-
Odd Life of Timothy Green movie. Get out of
yeah,
here.
it's like that kid who ate the watermelon and started growing watermelons. He became a watermelon, I think. Anyways.
Try more.
Chris, what do you think about Little Shop of Horrors?
Yeah,
Chris?
I haven't seen this movie, but weird story about this. So I know there's like sentient plants in this, and they're like the villains. But if I'm correct to remember, like they're kind of like charming and kind of funny.
No.
Yeah.
Am I thinking about the wrong movie?
No, they're charming.
Like they make like funny jokes and they
Except
make
for the
sing songs
blood
and
eating
shit,
part,
right?
which is kind of
They
weird.
try to kill you.
They eat people, but yeah.
Yes.
But they're entertaining things.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I disagree.
for a long time, I used to think this movie and that clip from Troll 2 when he's like, they're gonna eat her, they're gonna eat me. Oh my
thought that was the
god!
same movie?
I thought those were the same movie.
Wow.
So I was like, oh my god, those plants are eating her. so like yeah, for a long time I thought those were plants. But yeah, haven't seen this movie. I've seen like maybe like literal like the tiniest like clips, like just scrolling through Instagram or whatever. But I mean, I don't know. It's never heard of a movie where plants eat humans, other than maybe Sky High if you view it that way. But
My movie night's on Thursday, so maybe I'll.
I would like to revisit this one.
yeah, I don't think I can make it. I'm kidding.
I mean, last time I saw this movie, it was like, I mentioned this before, but on disaster movies, there's like that film festival that I used to go to all the time where it showed like the best of the worst. And for some reason they showed this movie, even though this is like a classic. They're like, it was a music, like the worst musicals, like the so bad it's good of musicals. Yeah.
No.
And they showed this
good.
one. And so I
They
think
made a
when I
Broadway
watched that movie
musical.
as a kid, I read it as a lens of bad movie. So which is hence like the poor rating on my letterbox. But I don't know. Whenever I think about it, it seems really fun. So I'd love to rewatch it so I can properly change that score.
You should.
Okay.
I
Otherwise,
do
I'll
think,
kill you.
Ethan, I agree with you. I don't think it's a vegan movie either. Thought about it. So I think it's creating an issue that doesn't exist and could potentially further an anti-vegan movement by claiming sentience.
That's why
in
it's
plants.
a warning shot. It's a warning shot.
There's
warning
no evidence
shot.
of sentience in plants. I want to make it clear. And even if you think you can circumvent this by eating more meat, the animals are still eating plants. So you lose regardless.
Everyone loses.
Yeah. You're eating more plants if you eat meat.
Oh shit. All right.
Doesn't make you vegan.
I tried.
Well, there's our
Vegan
picks,
expert
everyone.
hat.
So, all right, before we get into our final stack, you know the drill. Let's run through all three of our picks one last time. Steven, you want to kick it off with your stack?
Oh, please. Yeah. I've got a hell of a stack. My picks were Joker, The Terminator, and Dominion. All three very vegan.
I'm sorry. I still can't get over the joke.
It's
I
so
knew that'd be
good.
a great first
It's
pick.
brilliant. It's brilliant. Are you kidding
Thank
me?
you.
Chris, what's your stack?
Yeah. Mine was Okja, The Cove, and Avatar.
And my stack was also Okja, Chicken Run, and The Land Before Time. Brandon?
I got
you, Brandon.
Food Inc., Clueless,
You're
Little
clueless.
Shop of Horrors.
Okay.
And I did it in order.
There you go. Oh.
Oh,
I kid.
I don't belong here anymore.
I don't belong
No,
here.
come on.
This is Brandon's
You own the
last
stacked
episode.
theme song.
Yeah, you own the theme song. You belong
Yeah,
more
what
than
the
any
hell?
of
We
us.
started
I
it out
won
by
it.
kicking
I
him
won
off
You
the
won
show.
Steven's
Come on.
heart. Come on. All right.
You have my heart.
That has to mean something.
Come on, man.
All right. So we know Okja's a lock since it's a double stack. So I'm thinking.
I would love to see a doc in here.
I
'cause I think that's a big part
Yeah.
of.
I think Dominion, since Steven's so gung-ho on it, because like if it is the most vegan movie ever, we want to put that in people's minds. We don't want to make it just
Right.
like...
Yeah.
This is a list of the definitive vegan movies.
Full agree.
And if that's not on there, I don't know what can be, So I agree.
I think finding our third one's going to be tough.
Yeah.
I think Avatar, personally.
The ones that I will put forward as my selection would be either Avatar or Land Before Time.
Oh, yeah, that's so funny. That's also good.
We could put Avatar, which means we'll never talk about on the show again. Which
No,
I'm
let's...
in full agreement.
I've got a stack.
Okay.
All right, pitch.
Shut up. I'm going... Let's do Land Before Time for our kid vegan movie, our middle-aged adult vegan movie, but is gonna be Okja, and then our like senior vegan movie is Dominion.
Those are for the senior citizens. It's only for old people.
Wait, which one did you pick for seniors?
Dominion.
Only old people will.
No,
I feel like old people will be at least likely to watch that.
It's only for old eyes. No children under 7.
Mature
Only
only
for
is
old
good. I guess,
fogies like Steven. Just
kidding. No. But then you've got that escalation, and then you end on the starkest one, and that way
it'll change
it
your
lasts
mind.
with you.
It sticks with you.
Or Brandon just really wants his pick in the stack.
I never chose my pick.
None of those are his.
For the first
shit.
time
being
ever.
shut out.
For the first
I was
time
wrong.
He self-shut himself
My
out.
memory. Must be my vegan brain.
Say I'm
I
right.
can't-
Do it.
I'm
you
right.
to do that.
I'm right.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
All
did that
right.
get you off, Brandon?
I'm okay with that list. That's kind of a
Steven,
funky cool list.
Yeah. Steven, do you have an opinion between Land Before Time or Avatar for vegan representation?
You know, I've seen one of them. I've seen Avatar. Avatar is directed by a vegan, so that gives it points. And it's about environmental catastrophe, which is a big point in veganism. A little fact, we will have more plastic in the oceans than fish by 2050. That's within our lifetimes, so get ready. It's like very real environmental impacts. The number one cause of deforestation in the world is animal agriculture. They slash and burn and then raise animals there and use the land to raise crops for to be fed, to feed animals. Most of those being soy. I would pick Avatar personally. Avatar is like a PG-13 type movie, so kind of for the kids. But I do see the appeal of. Yeah, I saw it as a kid as well. I haven't seen Land Before Time, so I can't say. I don't know if Avatar even features meat eating because I can't remember. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Those are my thoughts.
Steven, I agree with you. Even though Land Before Time is my pick.
No, he just doesn't want to talk about Avatar.
I think we need a vegan director. James Cameron, I had no idea that's a thing. And we don't really have our environmental pick. We have...
Yeah, we do.
What?
What are you talking about?
We have Okja. That's more the industry. But like...
Yeah.
This is a vegan movie that steps outside of the meat industry. Unlike our other two
Chris,
picks.
sidebar.
So, you can't sidebar. This is a fucking
sidebar.
You sidebarred me for Aquaman.
Chris, are you really gonna deny putting your own pick?
Please, Chris, you already got
sidebar.
I do not have one on this stack. It is my wish.
It is wish.
my.
Wait, is your goal so that we can save Avatar for like fantasy or something one day?
I have no idea, but I want to use it again.
Okay, well, Brandon. Okay, give me this. Pitch me stacks that Avatar could end up on that would fit better than something about environmentalism.
Blue movies.
I can't think of much.
Environmental movies. Are you kidding me? Space movies. Of course. How could you not? Alien planet films. That is one that we have not even thought about yet.
My favorite alien planet film?
Vegan movies.
Vegan movies. Now that's a good pick for
That'd be a great episode.
All right, in honor of our guest, I will let Steven make the final call.
I hate this. I can't believe this. Keep sidebarring.
Steven, you have my heart.
No.
You on your heart.
We've exchanged
hearts.
We've exchanged hearts. You're letting me decide between a movie I've seen before and a movie I kind of remember. Like, I'm just saying. Oh, gosh. I mean, Land Before Time is 69 minutes.
Oh, shit.
Avatar is like...
This is a hard fight.
500 hours. It's revolutionary. You know what? I'm gonna bury Avatar, and I'm gonna pick Avatar as my pick.
No!
It's buried. It will never be mentioned on Stacked again.
Yes!
It is forever gone. Avatar.
Rip.
The air is a bit clearer in this room now for me. I don't know. Things feel different.
It will still be mentioned.
Brandon.
It will still.
There are 4 sequels coming.
Oh yeah, I forgot. They
Get
better
hyped.
be good.
We could do an Avatar stacked episode when those movies come out. Which is your 3 favorite Avatar movies?
You do 3 favorite Terminator movies, man. There are 13.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. All right. Well, let's run down Stack's official vegan movie final stack of our definitive vegan films. Starting with Chris, you want to kick us off?
Yeah. So our first film is Okja, a Bong Joon-ho film from 2017 dealing with corporation and the way it abuses animals. It's also a fantastic, in very Bong Joon-ho way, very twist and turn narrative, thrilling from start to finish, and also very heartfelt. It completes Bong's trilogy, unofficial trilogy of environmentalist films.
All right, and Brandon, since this is the last time we'll be talking about Avatar, do you want to send your goodbyes to it?
Avatar will return. Our final pick.
Pick.
Oh, sorry. Our second pick. I wasn't anticipating me going. So our second pick is a wonderful environmental message about treating the environment and animals with respect. It is James Cameron's Avatar, our notable vegan director. Everybody, go watch it.
All right, and our last pick, Steven, do you want to introduce it?
Of course. This is Dominion, directed by Chris Delforce. It's a documentary exposing animal agriculture industry, specifically factory farming in Australia and more widely the world. Some say it's one of the most horrific films ever created. When it was first screened, people walked out of the screening. They couldn't take it. I highly recommend it, and I think everyone should see it because it's important.
And there we have it. There is our final stack. I want to thank our guest, Steven, for being on the show. Steven, we have had such a fun time. We've had games. We've had deep discussions about, the meat industry, about ethics of veganism. And we've also had some good laughs and stuff like that too. So I want to thank you for choosing this topic and coming here on the show and just giving us a good time, man. Is there anything you want to plug for yourself or anything? Anything you want to shout out? I don't know.
Gonna plug my butt. No, I'm sorry. I saw it. I had to do it.
Took it and ran. I love it.
I know. I don't know. I've got a Twitter where I make awful tweets that no one should read. I've got a Letterboxd where I put really awful opinions on the internet that no one should read. I put a boner rating on every single movie I watch for some stupid fucking reason because my roommate Aiden was like, "Hey, Steven, you should put this on every movie." And I said, that'd be so dumb. And now I've been doing it for like over a year. And recently I started rating movies based on the couch experience, which I don't know what that fucking means, but I do it. Been watching movies. I like movies. I write movies that are dumb. So if you want dumb, stupid things, then go look at me. I've got some Letterboxd and Twitter. That's where it's at, I guess.
All right.
Links will be down below.
Yes, they will.
Yeah.
So that'll do us for this episode of Stacked, guys. And we will see you in the next episode. Oh!
Wait, do you hear that?
No.
What is it?
What is it?